Tēnā koutou te whanau o Auckland Unitarians. Tēnā koutou ngā manuhiri. Nau mai, haere mai. Haere mai ki tēnei whare Karakia o te atua. Tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Ko Rachel Mackintosh tōku ingoa, ko te kai kōrero o te rānei ahau. Welcome to whānau and manuhiri of Auckland Unitarians, who worship with us out of respect for the worth and dignity of every person and the spiritual path we each walk. Welcome to those who worship with us here in this building, and welcome to whānau who worship with us from elsewhere, including those watching later. My name is Rachel Mackintosh, and I will be leading the service this morning. You have come on the first Sunday of a new year for this congregation. Unitarian Universalists traditionally begin the new year with a water communion. In this land, the water communion falls in Pride Month, and we may contemplate the rainbow as one of the wondrous creations of water. Water is a powerful symbol that we will explore throughout the next hour. But at the heart of this morning will be the blending of waters that are important to us. They may have come from our tap, a puddle we splash through on our daily walk, the ocean from Takapuna Beach, or a stream far away. It's not very important where the water comes from. What is important here is why it's important to you. As we each pour our contribution into the bowl and share what it means to us, we will symbolically honour our coming back together to continue our journey in the year ahead. We are in a committed, intentional journey that seeks transformation of ourselves, transformation of our community, and transformation of the world, that we and they may reflect our core values. We take this journey not out of some selfish motive or self-righteous arrogance. We do it in humility for the next generation. We do it in love's recreation of the new day. Sophie, would you light the chalice for us, please? Each of us comes to the sacred space today to dip into the well that nourishes our hungry spirits. Each of us comes with our own cup of goodness to pour into the well. The chalice is a vessel, a bowl, a cup. We drink together. With the light we place in this vessel, we also place our common hopes, our shared dreams, our mutual commitment to a world made whole. May we be strengthened in our bonds of love and peace. Now please say the covenant with me if you choose. The words are on the screen. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is the sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony. Thus do we covenant with each other and with our God. For a reading this morning, I have some excerpts from a poem At the River Clarion by Mary Oliver. I don't know who God is exactly, but I'll tell you this. I was sitting in the river named Clarion, on a water-splashed stone, and all afternoon I listened to the voices of the river talking. Whenever the water struck a stone, it had something to say. And the water itself, and even the mosses trailing under the water. And slowly, very slowly, it became clear to me what they were saying. Said the river, I am part of holiness. And I too, said the stone. And I too, whispered the moss beneath the water. I'd been to the river before a few times. Don't blame the river that nothing happened quickly. You don't hear such voices in an hour or a day. You don't hear them at all if selfhood has stuffed your ears. And it's difficult to hear anything anyway through all the traffic, the ambition. Of course, for each of us, there is the daily life. Let us live it, gesture by gesture. When we cut the ripe melon, should we not give it thanks? And should we not thank the knife also? We do not live in a simple world. And still, pressed deep into my mind, the river keeps coming, touching me, passing by on its long journey, its pale, infallible voice singing. And now it's time for our water communion. Why do we repeat this ritual every year? It isn't just to brag about our travels. When we share our water in the common bowl, it reminds us that while we are separate people, we are also part of an interdependent community. You probably know about the water cycle. We are in the middle of this cycle. When we drink about 2 litres of water every day, then sweat or urinate or die, we take and then put water back into the water cycle. So water is constantly on the move. Even if you didn't study chemistry, you might well know that water is a molecule made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. This molecule being tiny, if you had 18 grams of water, or a little more than half an ounce for the imperial amongst us, that would be about 6 times 10 to the 23 molecules. This would be 602 sextillion molecules. If you were a 10-year-old child weighing 35 kilograms, you would contain 20 litres of water, or 20,000 grams of water. That child returns 10% or 2 litres to the water cycle every day. Because water is constantly cycling around, and because every human being has such large numbers of molecules of water cycling through them, there's a very good chance that each one of us has at least a few molecules of water that were formerly in the bodies of Socrates, Sappho, Jesus, Muhammad, the Buddha, and any number of great and wise people who lived in the past, as well as some of history's villains. Thus, when we say that we are all interconnected, that statement is quite literally true. We are all interconnected through the water cycle, not only with each other, but with all living beings, past and present. Mary Magdalene, Kupe, Mary Wollstonecraft, Te Puia, Billie Holiday, your grandmother, my grandmother, our First Minister, William Jelly, all might literally be connected to you through water. So I now invite you each to bring your water. And if you didn't bring it, please feel free to use the virtual and also real water here in the copper pitcher that can stand in for the water you are connected to. Those at home, if you have water, pour it. And we will also pour water for you here. If you could put your hands up and and we will call on you when it's your turn. Anybody who was hesitating now thinks they want to speak? It's not compulsory. So we close this ceremony, not the service, but the ceremony with a Karakia. Guided by love, secured by hope, and made courageous by faith, we gather together at a moment of beginning, both learning and teaching, welcoming the injured and the healing, ever justice seeking. We bless this congregation with our love, with pilgrims and seekers, growing children and cherished seniors, guided by pillars and by leaders. We bless this congregation with our hope, praying and resolving, trusting and involving, some settled, some evolving. We bless this congregation with our faith. Let us receive our ingathering as a gift. May it inspire renewed commitment to our great covenant of love, hope, and faith. May our eyes be opened to opportunities for broad ministry within, throughout, and beyond. And may the blessings we come to know through that vision be a blessing to the world. So be it. Now it's time to extinguish the chalice. Sophia, would you mind? I am but a drop of water. Alone I would disappear, dried up by the scorching sun, or sucked up by the dry, thirsty earth. But together we can wear out stones, carve out the great Grand Canyon, make streams and rivers, and find our way to the sea. My closing words are by Kale Rice. It starts with a drop, then a trickle, a burble, a rush of water bubbling towards its destination, and finally the wide, endless sea. All rivers run to the sea. Today you brought water, poured it into a common bowl. Though our experiences have differed, these waters mingle, signifying our common humanity. Today you came and shared in the sacred community. May you depart the sacred space, hearts filled with hope for new beginnings, a fresh start. Go forth, but return to this community, where rivers of tears may be shed, where dry souls are watered, where your joy bubbles, where your life cup overflows, where deep in your spirit you have found in this place a home. All rivers run to the sea. In a moment, Frank will play our postlude. After that, I will create a breakout room for those on Zoom, and if those in the church would like to form circles, I haven't done a slide for this, but just continue the conversation about water, other stories about water, other connections you may feel through water, while we get the morning tea ready. And our postlude is by Maurice Ravel. It's Pavane pour une enfance défunte. And for Jamie.